Well, thanks for tuning in to Key Factors presented by theraceguide.com.au. We are here on a Thursday night as always, joined by Mike Wood, our head analyst, to preview the big meeting at Rosehill Gardens this weekend, where hopefully we'll be racing on a nice, good track. And the festive periods here, Mike. We've got Santa arriving at Randwick for the Twilight meeting tomorrow. And well, how are you faring, mate? The kids are pretty excited?
I know you'll be at Randwick tomorrow night. Sounds good. And
Christmas party.
The life of a punter, mate. Winning during December matters 3 times, 4 times as much. And thankfully it's been a good week or two, so the kids get something in the stocking or a couple of stockings this year. But looking forward to the next few weeks. Not carnival racing. Yep. There's still good betting to be had. Yeah, so a nice card of racing there at Rosehill, which we'll get into later on. But the festive period, Mike, it's got me thinking a bit. A few of these horses, we can have a little bit of fun. Take on Trust, Going Well, Forgive off a few runs as well. How are we going to be playing those, mate? Yeah, we're going to be talking about the X Factors over the next couple of weeks. Something different. We had the same key factors all year, the last few years, so something a bit different. Take on Trust. We've seen it in our form guides before. What does it mean? It means there's some risk. Can we forgive the horses? There's plenty tonight that need some forgiveness on Saturday, Stu.
All right, well, we'll get into those, especially throughout the markets. I'm sure there's a few we'll be able to see. Let's have a look at the track conditions, though, Mike. Rosehill, as we said, after a Friday at Randwick, hopefully on a nice, good track. Yeah, good track. The rail edging out 4 metres. It's drying. We think it's going to be in the good 4 range. We think it'll be fair, but it can be a bit laney with this setup on Rosehill on Saturday. Yep. Maybe inside on the turn, maybe 2, 3, 4 wide in the straight, Stu. OK, so we'll have a little look at that. And, of course, we're having a look at only 5 races, Mark. No group racing, no listed racing on the card. We'll wait for that for Villiers next week. But some nice racing all the same. Yeah, and I did struggle. It's probably not the easiest betting card. There's a few favourites in there that we want to lay at least. Race 4 is a good betting race. There's a few progressive types there. Race 6, 7, 8 and 9. We were talking on Sky Sports Radio before. Race 8, the mares race. Why did we choose that race, Stu? That is the hardest race in the car. Yes, well, we do have a chat about this show on a Wednesday night, trying to come up with the races. I still don't know how we got up to that race, Mike. Let's have a look now. Race number 4 to get our program started. And as we have a look at the market here, 1,800 metres for benchmark 72 for the 3 and 4-year-olds. And, of course, the Eleonora is favourite here, Mike. It draws wide. Obviously, went hard in that race last start, but it is the favourite here. Atlantic King, $5.50 on the second line of betting. This horse is 4th up now, so it's rock hard fit. We've got Namazu at $7. And, of course, Niami at $7.50. Wairiri Falls, interesting runner here at $10 as well for Chris Waller. And out to Dakuri at $10 as well. And Secretly Awesome, $11. But, Mike, a few of these horses, as we said, where are the ones we're going to have a look for here that might have just had that nice run last start? Yeah, and progressive types we're looking for. Obviously, 3-year-olds tick that box. They're younger horses. They're improving. And there's that Group 3 Spring Stakes form at Newcastle we have to have a look at. It was an incredibly strong tempo this day. Some horses, very tough horses like Real Peace, near the pace, just a tiny bit wide, knocked up and got beaten plenty, 20 lengths or so. The money came for the Eleonora. John Singleton, how good are you, mate? Up the inside, 10 into 6, absolutely smashes them. Big win. Yeah. Progressive, robust type, should like the 1,800 metres. Namazu down the outside, the bias was against, but the tempo helped. And his pedigree doesn't help. Medagliadoro by Earthquake, that very famous sprinter. Not sure if he can stay, Stu. All right, yes, Earthquake right up there in the Golden Slipper. I remember that day. Let's have a look now at one of the other lead-up races, Kembla Grange. Well, this is a good day, wasn't it? This was the gong day, Mike. And Wairiri Falls we're looking at here, but we've also got Atlantic King, Secretly Awesome. I think we had a spec out this day. Who can progress here? 1,500 metres, importantly, out to 1,800 this weekend. It was a good day to have a few beers. There was a complete strip out from me on the punts. I'm not sure about that. I'm not quite sure about the form from this race. Atlantic King, do we forgive him? He was a short price horse in this race. He got well back. Is he flat or does he just want more distance? Secretly Awesome, interesting one on the inside. Probably a bit tight and we'll like the extra distance on Saturday. OK, so you've already flagged one here. Do we forgive? Do we forgive the King? I'm not sure, Stu. We'll wait to key factors. All right, let's have a look now to see where we're going in race number 4. As we start it with the form, Mike, and, well, that's telling me they've all got form that pretty much ties in. Yeah, it's so hard. There's some form references like Leewood, etc. on the inside at Newcastle you want to go against, but the time was good, so we'll light up the Eleonora. OK, so the Eleonora, the favourite, they've got a catch now. Rosehill, track distance and conditions. Yeah, you look at it, it's a robust type, 2,000 metres plus should suit the Eleonora, so 18's no problem. Secretly Awesome, up in distance is a big tick for him. OK, the Eleonora though, with gate 14, where's it going to get to on the map? We know what Waller runners do when they're drawn wide and it doesn't look pretty.
Wairee Falls will get back for the Wallace stable as well.
Okay, so the Eleonora is there, but Secretly Awesome's ranged up. We've got Namazu, Niami, and of course Tampering at pretty big odds down the bottom, Mike. What about the all-important progression?
I just don't think I can forgive the King. I don't think I can put some progression for him to bounce back. It was just too much for a flat run. Namazu, not sure, deep into the prep as well. Niami won an easier race last start.
Okay, all right, so Eleonora held on for a victory there. Secretly Awesome at some good odds. And, well, look, they've put a couple of lengths on the rest of the field here. So a nice betting play to start the day, I would have thought, with one at value down the bottom there, Mike. But let's bring all these ratings back in and, well, let's see where we're going. So Secretly Awesome there, you flagged that. We saw that replay out to 1,800 metres. The Eleonora, it's right there. And, well, look, a whole host of these that we pretty much can't split, but they're a couple of lengths behind.
Yeah, Eleonora is a decent golf course. The greens are a bit fast for me and the odds are a bit short for me as well. You've alluded to it, Stu. On pace, third up, 1,800 metres, sticks on all day. And I think they're two sneaky runs this prep. Secretly Awesome each way play of the day for us.
Each way play of the day coming up early in race number 4 with Secretly Awesome. Let's get the quaddie started now. The first leg is race number 6. And as we take you to the market here, we are over 2,000 metres, benchmark 78. And Accountability is the favourite here at $3.20 off the back of its 2 wins in a row. Obviously creeping up a little bit in the weights. We've got Gone By, another one saluting in the winner's circle last start, winning at Canterbury. Significance, $5.50. Obviously good run last start and a big win before that. Vegas Jewel sticks on very, very well, $8.50. Ulasaba's racing okay, and then out to $14 across Dubai. But a couple of these favourites, Mike, they've been pretty well supported, and, well, the fact is they're in winning form.
Yeah, Accountability. Well, he didn't cross the line first at Kembla, did he? But he ended up getting the win. Interesting protest, I thought. Probably lucky to get it because there's a little bit of interference from a couple of sides there. Accountability, the thing about this horse is he's strong to the line, he's consistent, he's reliable, but he is edging up in the weights. I think the hit and run in this race is significant. You wouldn't think it was hidden, but when you start looking at the sectionals, they sprinted 500-600 metres out. He was flushed out on the turn, 3-4 wide, no cover, which means it was very, very hard for him to sustain his run. He's right down the weights.
Yep.
Karma Zone, Proliferate, all right. But I think Significance is the one out of this race.
Okay, and of course we know how good this horse was a couple of starts prior.
Oh, he's just so up and down. Talk about forgiveness. He's just plain risky.
All right, so you've highlighted another one we might need to forgive. Let's have a look here at, well, it's the same day, isn't it? There's plenty from the Gong Day. There is the Seagull at the front of the picture. Vegas Jewel, Trevelyan and Ulasaba here, Mike. We were on the Vegas. It was on the outside. Look, it was wide here for the finish, but what was it like in the video comments? How wide was it?
We're pretty much blaming the Seagulls for every horse we backed on that day. They're all losers. Surely Vegas Jewel is dodging the Seagulls. Look, she was really honest here. Was she responding to the apprentice rider? I'm not sure. She gets Hugh Bowman on Saturday, 2,000 metres suits. Trevelyan sticks on okay. Big weight turnaround, $51 into $21 that day.
Okay.
Big one to watch on Saturday.
All right, let's see if any money comes for that horse on the weekend. Well, let's have a look now at race number 6 in all of our key factors to help you try and find a winner. We're running our little mini race, Mike, and Significance is out in front for the form.
Yeah, quite like it. Down in the weights and quite like the run last start. Light it up.
Okay, right about track distance and conditions.
That's the risk for Going By. I think he liked Canterbury. Not sure about Rosehill. Across Dubai, it's his home track, but he hasn't got a great record at Rosehill.
Okay, interesting. So a lot of these have all been put down to these horses' profiles as we get to the speed map.
Could have played it, a few are going back, but leaving it alone for now.
Okay, so not too much love there. No gold anyway, but it is Significance and Vegas Jewel out in front, Mike. And, well, interesting time of year, isn't it? So who are these horses that do have progression?
Yeah, a lot of these have reached their mark this prep, I think. Trevelyan's 4th up, I think, improving. Mongolian Wolf can improve as well.
Okay, so it might be one of those days to keep your eye out for these progressive horses with Trevelyan ranging up there to Vegas Jewel and, of course, Significance, the other favourite there, Accountability, not too far away. And a couple of lengths gone back to Gone By. Let's have a look here now. Bringing in all the ratings here, Mike, and we've got a 1, 2, 3. We've got a triple dead heat in race number 6 to start the quaddie.
Yeah, I think Accountability is going to be close. It's consistent, reliable up in the way. It's Gone By. We'll give a kick, but he's too short for us. Significance, Vegas Jewel, Trevelyan. We are backing them all. We are certainly not losing on Vegas Jewel, but at the odds, Significance and Trevelyan are the best bet and the value bet for us.
We are taking on the favourites. Pretty big time there in race number 6. Significance and Trevelyan there for us. There's a look at 2 races at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. Plenty more coming your way after the break. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We are deep into the card at Rosehill Gardens this weekend, and the next race we are going to have a look at is race number 7 over the 1100 metres, the members' Christmas handicap. And of course, Pandemic is the favourite here, well supported, $5 into $3.50. 6 weeks off into Kembla when it was 3 wide, no cover. Peaking late there, so back to 1100 metres here. We've got Hulk on the next line at $5, genuine and professional, down in the weights at 53.5 kilos. 11.11, $7.50, resuming off 2 solid trials. Only a couple of lengths off them in the Arrowfield with behind Splintex and Flit last preparation, so it has got form. We've got Express Pass, interesting visitor, $8 up from Melbourne, close enough in the Dubton at Sandown. And of course, Mo's Crown, $8.50, good win at Kembla, second up. But Pandemic, Mike, interesting, the money has come early in the week.
There's some big betting moves at Kembla for the gong meeting every year, and this was a massive one between Pandemic and Big Parade. They had 3,000% of the market, and they both missed a hole. Jeez, I'm glad I avoided that carnage. Big Parade, can you forgive him? He's later in the card. We'll look at that race soon. He went too hard, way too hard, but he still got beaten. Mo's Crown is in this race we're talking about now. Tough, solid, reliable, but strong tempo, 1200. Back to 1100 isn't easy, and like you just said, Stu, Pandemic, 3 wide, no cover. Back to 1100 metres, tick, tick for him.
Tick, tick, tick. And is that the sort of horse we can forgive?
Well, that is the question.
We'll have to ask ourselves that as we have a look at all the key
It's a very
factors.
personal question, Stu. It's a personal
Yes,
question.
very true. Well, look at this. Stefan, okay, 7th of December 2019, Mike. So we are going back 1 full year for this.
We're talking about so much about forgiveness. We're not talking about Rosehill types, are we? And this is an absolute Rosehill type. He's a beast, he's strong, he's muscular, can quicken. This is the last time he was Rosehill 1100 metres. He runs down Invictus Salute, which is very, very good form for this race on Saturday. Yep. He was actually in that replay we just watched. He was a bit wide with cover and pulled up with a cardiac arrhythmia. He's trialled since, and he's monster odds, so worth forgiving that one.
Came away well on the line there as well.
It was a year ago, though. It was a year ago.
All right, well, there you go. All the profiling, that's got to try and help us this week at Rosehill to try and find your winners. And the key factors can obviously help us do that as well, Mike. So here we are, race 7. We got the form.
It's close, but I think the Melbourne form's just a touch behind.
Okay, so it has got to catch up, and we're talking about Express Pass there. Track distance conditions at Rosehill.
Looking for proper dry track 1100 metre types. Worried about 1111, wide barrier back in distance. Most Crown back in distance. Worried about him. True Detective the same. Poetic Charmer also back in distances for him.
All right, this is what you do best. All this profiling, Pandemic, you say there, gets all the ticks. What about the speed map?
Who am I worried about here? 1111 wide barrier, Express Pass getting back and wide. True Detective, the same as those two.
Okay, let's see if those worries come out in the tips at the end of the show. Progression here, Mike. They've got a bit to do to catch Pandemic here, though.
Yeah, I think Broken Arrows can improve, and Single Bullet does go well fresh. The last time he raced fresh, I think it was after a year off, and he almost won. Okay,
all right, well, Single Bullet, a little bit of gold. Hulk is racing well, but it is Pandemic streeting clear here in all the key factors. So we have had to ask.
It's a favourite.
It's a favourite.
Hate favourites.
We've avoided them so far on the show, but that was a decent win there. Let's have a look to see where Pandemic is. Well, here's the question, Mike. $5 into $3.50. If it is one that you like, and it's clearly you do here, what sort of price do you think it'll be jumping?
Are you kidding? Was it $5 on Wednesday?
I heard it was.
Oh, geez, I missed it.
You missed it.
Yeah, look, he ticks every single box. Dry track, 1100 metres, Rosehill Gardens. The Sydney form is stronger. I think he has to be the best bet. Hulk's obviously in the mix, but he's very short. Single Bullet, Stefan, between them for the value bet, but Pandemic is clearly the one to beat on Saturday.
All right, clearly the topical tip as well. Pandemic, therefore, us as the best bet in race number 7, which takes us to race number 8 over 1,350 metres. And wow, what a field we've got engaged here, Mike. This is going to take a bit to get through, I think, to find the winner. We have Salika on top, well backed, $8 into $5, resuming. Progressive mare to the Annabelle Neesham stable. That stable's flying. Of course, the jockey at Louise Day is flying as well, so a lot of ticks there. Vitesse, $5, also equal favourite. J-Mac jumps on after fading fresh. This horse draws well. Turnstile, second emergency, $6.50. Run over late fresh, then split Stolen Jade and Macrura. We've got Invinciano, $7.50. It should enjoy being back to a dry track. Savine at $8. And then, of course, out to Sausage at $9, who looks pretty much ready now, third up. But wow, Mike, $5 a field here. This is a very, very deep race of mares.
We will do our best. And we'll start with Kembla form again. We love this Kembla form. Mare's race, 1,200 metres, benchmark 72. And the thing about Turnstile is she ticks all those boxes that we love for a horse.
Yep.
Tactical speed, very reliable, and fights hard at the end. She probably went to a whole new level to start. 2 or 3 lengths better than her previous form. She was very strong in light. Me ran on okay. Mystery Double down the outside can improve an immersement. I know she only looked fair in the Godolphin Blue, but it was a long break into this and she can improve up in distance.
Right, so a fair few that we've got to look through here. But look, Turnstile, if it gets the run, Mike, of course, it draws nicely in 8 here, so it'll be on speed again.
We've talked about it before. Watch the way she stretches her neck out. You've got to love backing a horse like that.
That's right. I do remember that on when we tipped it on the show. We were talking about that sort of profile. Let's have a look at a couple of other runners here from the big day at Newcastle. Of course, we speak of Bring the Ransom, and St Covered Spirit was in this race too, Mike. It was a decent run fresh in behind as well.
Yeah, really surprised that Bring the Ransom won this race. The time was only fair and I'm worried about the form, so maybe a little bit against her. St Covered Spirit's the one that I like. 1,200 metres, a touch short. She winds up, she hits the line. I would bet her really hard on Saturday, but that wide barrier scares me.
And of course the money was there for the winner that day as well at Newey, getting the cash, some of these big plungers at the provincials.
Too smart.
Let's have a look now, race number 8 on the card. Where are we going here for form?
Well, it's not Vitesse and it's not Salika. Turnstile and Vinciano both flying.
Okay, I like it. Favourites with a bit of work to do. Let's see if they can catch up with all the key factors, because they are going to need it by the looks of it. Track distance conditions.
Yeah, you've got to love the way Turnstile finds. Line up in distance should suit. St Covered Spirit improving as well. A Mystery Double, tick, tick.
It's not key factors if we don't take on a few favourites. Looks as though we are doing that here, Mike. What about the map? Does that help the faves?
Most of the favourites okay, but St Covered Spirit, geez, I wish he drew a barrier, Stu.
Wow, okay, there is plenty of gold across the page here for the speed map, but of course only a few of these can probably progress.
Yeah, I guess Vitesse can improve second up.
That's
Salika,
true.
For a stable that's flying, and give her a gold bar as well. Maybe in St Covered Spirit second up can improve.
Okay, so gold bar's only late for Vitesse and Salika there, which left us with Turnstile out in front from Invinciano, St Covered Spirit, Mystery Double in there as well. So we are playing around the market here. I knew you'd find a nice little edge in this race. Taking on the favourites.
I'm not sure I have.
Which one are we going to be backing though? Or, by the look of that, Mike, they are all decent odds. Is this the race you just sort of chip away in?
Well, yeah, I guess I was really worried. I looked at this race because it's such a tough one to pick, but the bookies are obviously struggling as well. Salika first up, 13.50. That seems too short. Vitesse, after that shocking run first up, why is she favourite? And Turnstile might not get a run, but she should be the clear favourite for mine. So Turnstile each way is the bet, and then you get a whole stack of horses at value. Immersement to Specky, but I think she'll drift on Saturday. I
noticed Vitesse wasn't even on that final page. We just looked at.
I don't see why she's favourite.
All right,
I know why she's favourite, James Mack. That's why.
That's a good point. Turnstile there for us in race number 8, which leaves us with the lucky last, race number 9, 1,200 metres, benchmark 78 under handicap conditions. And well, I'll tell you what, Mike, there's a few horses in this race that we'll need to ask if we can forgive. And Big Parade was one of those. $3.50, resumed a gelding at Kembla when well backed. It obviously might have gone a little well hard in front, but the blinkers do come off. We've got Ramstein on the second line of betting, $6. Led right till the line second up when 6 weeks off. Does it just sit on the back of Big Parade here in the run? We've got Dumbrody Power on the third line, $7. Another well backed on the Gong Day, $14 into that $9 quote. Surreal Sep, $7.50 here. J-Mac Sticks after riding him well at Newey last start, and then out to Let It Pour at $12. Obviously form behind Surreal Step, the latest. Will it roll forward from the outside gates? But Mike, Big Parade, well, is it one we forgive?
Oh, I love horses like this because they blow up the analyst spreadsheets, all those form ratings that never looked at a horse in their life. Let's have a look at it. Second up, last preparation, but importantly, it's very, very different track conditions. This is a softish track with a little bit of leader bias, and he's rolling on a very, very tight turn, and he absolutely smashes them, running a massive rating. If he produces this, he just wins on Saturday. But that, of course, is the question, Stu.
Okay, so you're saying maybe a forgive on last start, and we're going back to, what are you calling this? Is this one of his peak performances?
It's his peak performance. I think he gets priced on this run, but I don't think he's ever produced anything like that run on dry conditions. Okay,
well, there's a look at Big Parade, and well, you've gone back to the archives here again, Mike, pretty much a year again as we did a couple of races ago. This one is called Rover, and you've got to look right down to the bottom because it gets in on the 54 kilos.
The Anthony Cummings stable can throw in a first upper that wins at massive, massive odds. And this smells of one, doesn't it, Stu? Sort of last preparation of one first up. This is his first win ever, first run ever. Second up, very, very unlucky when second in a decent rating race. Third, fourth, fifth up, wet tracks, not quite as good. A muscular type with stamina on its damn side. Should be strong through the line and near pace. Good type.
Yeah, good point. They do seem to get the cash early with some of those horses. Let's have a look now at our final key factors. Race number 9, Mike. Big Parade. Well, it doesn't light up for the form. You couldn't have on that last start.
No, but this is just way open, isn't it? We're forgiving Oxford Tycoon last start. We're just going back to 2 runs ago for that. But look at the rest of them. Very, very close for form.
All right, a nice even race here. I didn't think we could get much more even after that last race in race number 8. But here we go. Track distance conditions. Have a look at the Sea of Gold.
Yeah, most of them fine. Golly unlucky away from Kembla, so I don't think he can win.
OK, well, what about some of these down the bottom, Mike? Does the speed map help any of these?
Well, I think Let It Pour, when you first look at the formula, I just see wide barrier, which is a concern, but I think she lobs into the box C, which is a great position for her. And Oxford Tycoon, all his best runs are when near the rails. OK, Let It Pour. Let's hope it doesn't do that on Saturday. Oxford Tycoon, Surreal Step and Dunbrody Power there. They are out by a length on the favourites, but Big Parade, well, we can progress. Well, Mark Newnham said he's getting fitter and he's such an honest guy, such a likeable guy, so... You're going to believe him. I'm going with that. And Bjorn Baker's likeable too, so bold and wild, let's light him up. He was a cardiac arrhythmia last start. I'll tell you what's not likeable, getting to the last race and seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horses all cross the line together, just a length in front of 2 others, mate. No, it doesn't look good, but it's a tough card on Saturday. It is a tough card, and we're hopefully here to find you a winner in the last. So let's have a look at that now and bring all that form and key factors into this equation, Mike, because, well, look, you found, well, let's not call this an edge. There's plenty of horses here. We're not going to go through them. How do you separate these, mate? Is it just a price swing? Well, the data's not really helping us, so we'll go through them. Big Parade, too short. Risky, Dunbrody Power gets back, no thank you. Surreal Step probably had its chance last start, so I quite like the next 3. Let It Pour each way. Oxford Tycoon and Rover. Which ones I'm going to choose? Oxford Tycoon, inside Barry, always likes it, and Rover, massive, massive odds first up. The trials were pretty good. All right, we've found some value there in the last at Rosehill with Oxford Tycoon as the best bet and Rover at any old odds. There's 5 races for Rosehill Gardens. We'll be back after the break. Plenty more coming your way. All the other best bets, $100 hot seat, and of course our charity multi. Hello, well, we're wrapping things up here on Key Factors for the raceguide.com.au for the card at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. 5 races down, 4 to go, Mike. Still plenty of value in there for the punters because I feel that that's the sort of show we've had tonight. A lot of value. Yeah, definite word of warning. There are no morals on Saturday. There are never morals. We're 0 from 4 using that word on this show, so I won't be using that on Saturday for sure. Across the card, Black Duke. It's a very, very open opening race, so maybe just watch the pattern there. Ellsberg, the best form, so strong last start. Maybe watch the yard because it was a testing run last start. Eva's Deal, 1800 metre suits. Secretly awesome each way play today. Edison on pace, hard to beat. Significance, loved it run last start. Pandemic, conditions are ideal. Turnstile so on us. And Oxford Tycoon should be right in the finish from an inside barrier. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? You've got a few there, obviously single figures. We're playing wide in a few of those races, so it's going to be an interesting day at Rosehill. Let's have a look. $100 hot seat time now, Mike. We are getting nearer and nearer to the end of the year. Santa is coming, mate. The kids need feeding. Come on, what are we doing? There's only one good thing about that number in the bottom right, and it's not negative. We've got a couple of weeks to put it negative, so let's try and put it right, Stu. Secretly awesome. Each way play today, but we're backing it win only. Why was that? Because we've got so many other bets as well. Significance, Vegas, Jewel, Trevelyan. They're the 3 in race 6. Race 7, 3 again, Pandemic. Stefan at massive odds and Single Bullet just peaks a bit late. So we'll just play him a place. Then race 9, Oxford Tycoon. And Rover, a couple of big odds, including 31 and 51 bucks, Stu. OK, so a nice spread there. 4 races across the card for the $100 hot seat. Nice and wide, which gets us to our charity multi. Of course, we've been raising money all the back end of 2020 for the Bondi to Berry Bike Ride and Dementia Australia. So we're going well here. $835. So we need to crack the grand. Let's start with a multi. Vegas Jewel. It didn't get the job done for us down there in the gong, but it's so reliable. We'll have that a place $2.70. Single Bullet a place $6. So we're going to come home strong here. $20 at $16.20. And a nice race to play in here. We're confident in Pandemic. Stefan, well, we saw that replay. That's any old odds. Hulk is very interesting horse. And, of course, Single Bullet there, the one at value. So we'll have $20 on that for a box trifecta, Mike. And, well, here we are. Bondi to Berry time. We've been talking about it for a while. Yeah, this is the last week for Bondi to Berry. They're racing on Saturday. and you've done such a good job. Jobs to you, minimum $1,000 going to that charity on Saturday. We could get even more. You've gone very wide there. You won last week with the Quinella and the All Up. You've done such a great job for such a great cause, which is close to your heart, mate.
Yeah, it sure is. They're all going to be leaving, about 120 riders there on the weekend from Bondi all the way down to Berry. I'll be there manning some drink stations, putting up some signage and, of course, cooking the barbie at the finish. But it's such a great cause. Dementia Australia, they need every help, every cent they can get. That's our little bit from the race guide. So we wish all the riders a great success this weekend and wish everyone best of luck in getting to Berry. That's all from us here on the race guide, but we hope you find a winner or two this weekend and head to theraceguide.com.au for all your feature profiling this weekend.
Have a great weekend.